is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Give them a call, 727-9900. News is also brought to you by Desert View Hospital. You can count on us.
Thanks so much for joining us here on KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio. Today is Wednesday, October 5th. Well, a lot has happened at the Nye County Sheriff's Office over the past day. Last night, a post on the Nye County Sheriff's Office Facebook page stated that 2 Nye County Sheriff's Office supervisors were accused of criminal actions. The Nye County Sheriff's Office said that a complaint was filed on August 11th accusing Lieutenant Adam Tibbetts and Sergeant Corey Fowles of criminal activity. The allegations are that Lieutenant Adam Tibbetts and Sergeant Corey Fowles conspired in violation with each other to commit the crimes relating interference with the use of computer systems and networks. An investigator determined that there was probable cause that they had committed crimes, and the case was referred to the Nye County District Attorney's Office. Both Lieutenant and Adam Tibbetts and Sergeant Corey Fowles were placed on leave. This morning, another post was made stating that the 2 officers were authorized to return to work and that the district attorney's office refused to prosecute the case. Well, the district attorney, Chris Arabia, made it clear that this case, what this case was about this afternoon. In his press release, he stated that the Nye County District Attorney's Office has denied this request from the Nye County Sheriff Sharon Morley to prosecute Nye County Sheriff's Office officers Adam Tibbetts and Corey Fowles for allegedly shutting Nye County Sheriff's Office Captain David Brukowitz out of a non-work-related Facebook politics page that the 3 ran. After carefully looking at the allegations and relevant laws and personally reviewing the legislative history and relevant laws, he says that with complete certainty that the allegations here are clearly not a criminal matter. The laws at issues, he says, are meant to protect against things like serious financial fraud, theft, and industrial espionage, and blocking people from computer systems or networks. These laws are not meant to resolve private disputes among people running a Facebook page. He's concerned that there are 9 pages of written text summarizing the investigation in the police report referred to his office for this matter, but his office has had reports referred to him from the Nye County Sheriff's Office for things like sexual assault cases that only have 1 to 2 pages of written text summarizing an investigation. The DA's office, he says, received the referral for this on October 3rd of this year. The DA's office was not consulted prior to the referral about whether criminal charges would be even appropriate. It should be noted that Corey Fowles is the stepson of Bill Becht, who is named undersheriff for Joe McGill, who is campaigning against Sheriff Sharon Morley in the upcoming November election. Both Fowles and Tibbetts have been outspoken about their choice for sheriff in this upcoming November election. Well, we've all been frustrated on the roadway when rocks hit our windshield. Police say one local man actually was so upset that a rock struck his windshield that he struck a vehicle with 4 people inside because he says an HEV kicked up some rocks into his recently. The Nye County Sheriff's Office report that they have arrested a person by the name of Charles Van Rickley with 4 counts of battery with a deadly weapon. On October 1st, deputies were dispatched to the area of Panorama Road and Wheeler Pass here in Pahrump in reference to a 2-vehicle crash. Upon arrival, they made contact with a person by the name of Charles Van Rickley. They stated that Van Rickley was driving a Jeep westbound on Wheeler Pass Road when the incident occurred. Van Rickley told them that he was driving behind an HEV with 4 occupants. He said that the HEV kicked up rocks and that the rocks hit his windshield. Charles then stated that he pulled up next to the HEV and started yelling yelling at the driver. At that time, he said that the HEV then made a U-turn, causing the Jeep to collide with them. The 4 occupants of the off-road vehicle said that they were driving westbound in front of Charles when the incident occurred. The occupants said that Van Rickley had stopped the Jeep and that they had made a U-turn to go speak with him. At that time, they say that Van Rickley rammed their ATV, causing enough damage to total the ATV and cause them a possible broken wrist and a broken pinky. They believe that this was an intentional act because they were at a complete stop. Deputies investigated the incident and say that the tracks showed that the Jeep had clearly left the roadway westbound into the oncoming traffic lane eastbound, where the ATV had done a U-turn. Officers say that Charles Van Rickley had willfully and unlawfully used force and violence upon the person of another by ramming his Jeep into the ATV with 4 occupants. Charles Van Rickley was arrested and booked into the Nye County Sheriff's Office Detention Center. Well, you may have seen a post about it on the Nye County Sheriff's Office page and even our KPVM Facebook page, but Sheriff Sharon Worley and Lieutenant Eric Murphy made a visit to Washington recently about fentanyl. And this trip was paid for, and we're going to tell you a little bit about it and what happened during that visit.
Well, the FAIR Summit, first of all, FAIR stands for Federation for American Immigration Reform. And they paid for our trip to Washington, D.C. in September because we were discussing the fentanyl problem.
And we just spoke to Harry Williams about fentanyl, and this is a huge problem. You guys saw really hands-on what was going on at this. There was a protest. There was actually physically pictures that was that showed how much this is impacting America. Let's talk a little bit about that. Can you tell me what you saw?
Well, they had a lot of people out there, obviously, but they had 4x8 sheets, white sheets, with pictures covered from one side of the mall, the Washington Mall, clear to the other side of the Washington Mall, on both sides of the street. That depicted all of the people that had died so far that they knew of fentanyl. I knew that it was coming across the border, and I knew that it was coming from, originally coming from China. But I didn't realize that it was coming from Chinese factories that were actually pill manufacturers that were sending pills over to Mexico, shipping them across, and then the Mexican cartels bringing them into the United States. The piece that I was missing was that the different pharmaceutical companies over there were actually manufacturing the pills.
Legally.
Legally.
Scary.
Well, legally in China. I think the biggest thing that came out of this, well, one of the biggest things, was realizing that each one of the pill companies that they import into Mexico and eventually come our direction, they don't have quality assurance programs like we do. So their quality control on their pills, you may get one batch that has X amount of fentanyl, and then the next time you have a batch that has XX times of fentanyl. So it's not a standardized portion that you're getting in a pill that now is being handed from person to person.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not coming from one of our pharmaceutical companies that really do have standards, and they are checked to be sure that whatever they put in that pill is at the standard but not over the standard amount of whatever it is. The pills are stamped the same way a pharmaceutical pill would be stamped here. And so, you know, you go back to when you were little and you wanted to smoke cigarettes, and your mother or your dad would tell you, well, you get your cigarettes from me and your, everything else, because the cigarettes that you got from your buddy could be laced with something. And it's the same thing. Get your pills from a pharmacy. Don't get them from someone else. Don't take somebody else's medication, because you never know what you're getting, and it could kill you. I don't think that there is a pill that actually says it's fentanyl. There are pills that look like oxycodone that are marked like oxycodone. There are pills that look like Valium and are marked like Valium, but they're not coming from one of our pharmacies. So if you take a pill that you know has not come from a pharmacy, you're taking your life in your hands.
All right, well, we'll have more on the fentanyl crisis on tomorrow night's broadcast, and we'll be back with more news right after this break.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment of the news is brought to you by John Air. For all your heating and air conditioning needs, call 775-751-2372.
Welcome back. Well, First Choice Pregnancy Center said that they have decided to move. Their former location sold, and they thought it might be the perfect time to take advantage of a beautiful space and great scenery. Nancy Irwin explains.
We've moved to a new location. It's 2240 East Calvada Boulevard, around the Calvada Eye, next to Southwest Medical. It's a church. It was a church years ago, and my understanding it was a house to start with, and over the years they've grandfathered into businesses. So, First Choice Pregnancy Center is a place where our clients can come and get a free pregnancy test, an ultrasound exam, material items, diapers, wipes, parenting classes. Everything's free, because as you know, we don't get our support from federal or state funding. It's all from the community, the churches, businesses, and individuals. First Choice Pregnancy Center is a place where our clients can come and get a free pregnancy test, an ultrasound exam, material items, diapers, wipes, parenting classes. Everything's free, because as you know, we don't get our support from federal or state funding. It's all from the community, the churches, businesses, and individuals.
You just had a diaper run a little while ago?
Yes, we did. A few weeks ago we did. It turned out well. We had a very low turnout. I think the weather had something to do with it, but overall it was a success. I can't say, though, we are short of diapers in the 5 and in the size 6 and wipes. We're probably about individual, about 5,000 short of each.
So if people want to donate, they can drop it by, and they can even see the new facility?
Absolutely. We'll take them on a tour. We are going to be having an open house on November 2nd from noon to 4. We're going to have coffee and some refreshments and a couple giveaways. So if you come by, fill out a ticket, you might win something.
How is it going on the formula right now?
Well, we don't have any formula. My understanding, it's slow process of the warehouses that do have is coming back, but also because of the truckers, that type of situation where they can't get them out fast enough. But we're making do with what we have. We will be having what we call Five Alive, and it's $5, committing $5 a month for a year. So it's $60. So anyone can participate with that, and can come down and talk to our staff about it.
And you can donate online as well?
Yes, you can. Right now through PayPal. If you go to our website, you can pay through the PayPal. It's www.pahrumpregnancy.org. It is 2240 East Calvada Boulevard. Right now we're open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Monday and Tuesdays 12 to 4, Wednesdays 10 to 4. We're sticking with those 3 days for a while. We were open on Thursdays, but we've decided to stay closed for a while.
Are you taking donations of clothing and furniture as well?
Right now we're not. We're pretty much situated with clothing as far as the donations go, furniture, things like that, we're set.
Well, a car show was held recently at the Prump Fall Festival. We're going to tell you all about it.
So we put together Fall Festival Show and Shine, and we started out with the parade and at our business on Calvada, and we got to come over and join everybody brought just under 50 cars, and we'll be doing awards at 3:30. All the benefits, all the proceeds from any of the sponsors and the registration is going to go to Shriners Hospital, though.
I'm laughing. I had a fly on me during that last intro to that story. Anyways, the Prump Senior Center is getting ready for their annual event that brings in the crowds. It's open to everyone, and here is Ann Harris with all the details.
Hello again from the Senior Center. We have our annual Halloween dance coming up on October 29th from 5 till 9. Tickets will be $15 a person. Come in costume. We'll have dinner, dessert, raffle, all kinds of fun stuff, and a great DJ, Deanna O'Donnell, will be here to DJ for us that evening. So come down, dance, have fun, have dinner. We'd love to see you at the Senior Center, 1370 West Basin. If you need tickets, give me a call at 775-727-5008, extension 4, or you can just come by and pick up a ticket or get them at the door that evening. So come on down to the center and enjoy all these events.
So I'm going to be there DJing that Halloween event, and that is going to be happening on the 28th, I believe it is. And of course, it's so much fun. Everybody's invited to come on down. You don't have to be a senior. And of course, next Thursday, I'll be there DJing at the other Medicaid event at the Senior Center as well. So come on down. It's going to be from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. We're going to be having so much fun at 1370 West Basin Avenue. We'll be back with your health report right after this break.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. Also brought to you by Silver State Health. Visit silverstatehealth.org or call 702-471-0420 for an appointment. News 25, local news you can count on.
Well, now that kids are back in school, it's a good idea for parents to have conversations with their little ones about stranger danger. And if you've never had that talk before, you may be wondering what to say. Dr. Richard So from Cleveland Clinic Children's has some advice.
When we talk about stranger danger, you got to be careful. You don't want to create anxiety and fear of your child, but you want to balance that with their safety and their security.
Dr. So recommends explaining to your child that there is never a reason an adult would need a child's help finding something. He says it's also a good idea to go over some scenarios where a bad person might ask them for help. For example, they might say they lost their puppy and need help finding it, or they may try to entice them with treats or even electronics. Dr. So says it's also important to teach your kids who the good people are, like police officers, firefighters, and teachers, or someone with a badge at a store. Another helpful tip can be to come up with a family password. So if someone tells the child, even if it's someone they know, that they are there to pick them up, they need to know the password.
I tell my patients to have a secret family password that is only between your family. So if someone comes up to my child and says, hey, your mom's running behind, she was at the hospital, she was in a car accident, she told me to pick you up. My kids are trained to say, hey, what's our family's secret password?
And if your child gets lost, Dr. So says it's okay to tell your children that they can ask another parent for help. Most parents would happily lend a hand in that kind of situation.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Well, a little bit cooler nights and a little bit cooler days. Is it going to stay that way? John's going to tell us all about it right after this break.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios on a Wednesday night. Nice to see a beautiful weather map up here. Look at Fernley, Fallon, Carson City, kind of making a weather sandwich there. Fernley and Carson City at 82. Double stuffed in the middle, Fallon at 83. Looking good, guys. Up in Tonopah, 77 degrees. That's the Cool Spot Award winner today. Goldfield saw 79, 91 out in Beatty, 94 in Amargosa. You're our hot spot winner. And Las Vegas at 91, always a hot spot on its own. But out in Death Valley, downright pleasant, actually. 106 degrees, that would be all right for Death Valley. Here in the Paradise of Pahrump, 91 degrees is our current temperature. We saw as much as 93 a little bit earlier with winds out of the west-northwest to just 6 miles per hour. It was an outstanding afternoon. Sun rose this morning at 6:42. Setting this evening, 6:21. We'll look for it, and it's happening very, very shortly. And we'll look for a gorgeous sunset and a low tonight of about 62 degrees. And as we head on into the week, what do we see? Sun shining on me for the next couple days. Anyway, low 90s will be our temperatures Thursday and Friday, about 92 degrees. Saturday, Sunday, things starting to transition into something new, and we'll keep an eye on that. But winds starting to kick up on Sunday. Chance of rain, 15%. Somebody's getting sprinkled on. Winds continue to build Tuesday all the way up to 19 mile per hour. And looks like they back off a little for Wednesday, and that'll clear out the skies, but it also drops the temperature all the way down to 77 degrees. And so I think we're seeing kind of a bye-bye to 90s and hello to 70s over here. So there you go. Let's make your plans for the weekend. Should be kind of fun. All right, maybe the last good one. Back to the desk. Here's Deanna.
Good night.